Coming up next, On the Spot, do you like movies? Well, for you action fans, EA is stopping by to show off a never-before-seen level found in From Russia with Love. And Jason Ocampo will debut the demo for Empire Interactive's Starship Troopers. Also, Brian Ekberg's got some high-speed chases with the online portion of Burnout Revenge, and Bob Kalika will guide his team to greatness with Mario Superstar Baseball. Also playing, there's Ultimate Spider-Man, Mark Ecko, TOCA 3, and the Amusement Machine Show.
Bugs! Bugs! Move it, you ape! You know the drill!
We're live and on the spot. Oh, welcome to the Roughnecks!
Yeah, Rico's Roughnecks, baby! Ooh.
Who doesn't love Starship Troopers?
No one does not love
Starship
Troopers.
Starship Troopers. If you've not seen Starship Troopers,
Go see
it. We have a great show for you today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to On the Spot. I'm your host, Rich Gallup. Joining me this week, Jeff Gersman.
Hey,
this is a Ryan-free show.
That's right.
No Ryans.
That's right.
No Ryans.
Zero Ryans. One out on assignment, the other out doing something else crazy in the building.
Exactly. But we have a whole bunch of great stuff today.
Yeah, totally.
EA is here.
EA is here.
And they have a never-before-seen level for From Russia with Love.
Yeah, very exciting.
Loving
that game.
That. We're going to look at that. Cool. It looks cool. We have that. We have Ultimate Spider-Man interview.
Nice.
We have demos. Brian is standing by. Hi, Brian.
Come on, you apes. You want to live forever?
Very nice. Brian, the Michael Ironsides of the crew. He's going to be playing Burnout Revenge online, actually with Ryan Davis.
Well, I'll hang out with you here for a while, but I'm going to go over there and play Burnout later.
Play Burnout. Yeah. You really should. Brian, what are you going to be doing today in Burnout Revenge?
Probably be losing to Ryan a lot.
Okay.
We're going to check out some race, some road rage, some crash mode stuff. We're going to go through the whole online thing in Burnout Revenge.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
And also today, Jason Ocampo is going to be here. Oh, actually, Bob Kalika is going to play Mario Superstar Baseball. And Jason Ocampo is going to debut the demo for Starship Troopers from Empire Interactive, and we have a fantastic prize for you today.
An excellent prize awaits you at the end of the show.
All right, this is just a placeholder prize. I'm going to hold this up right now. It is the DVD for Starship Troopers. That would be a great
starters.
prize. For starters, that'd be a great prize. Now imagine that you're one of 3 people who received this in the mail, but scrawled across it.
Hey, don't spoil it now.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about it at the end of the show, all right?
All right,
it's too explosive to reveal now.
All right, we'll let people think about it.
Yeah.
But we're going to send you over to Brian.
Yeah.
And while we do that, and we're going to bring Sam on stage. Take your seat.
Sure.
But while we do that, I want everyone to check out this great interview that we just put up this week for Ultimate Spider-Man. This game looks great. Check it out.
Hey you! Is that a rhinoceros horn or you just happy to see? I'm so scared I can't even finish my lame joke.
Many games have tried to emulate comics in the past, but we really do some unique things to make our title really emulate Ultimate Spider-Man. Principally, we have a 3D comic inking shader that puts a varied line weight around the characters. It makes it very dynamic and gives a sense of weight and light and volume like inking does in a comic book. We also have this internal inking that happens on the characters. The forms of the muscles inside the character get a black inking pass as well. It's not really a cell shader. It's really a unique shader that emulates more comic book inking style. The other thing that we do that's pretty unique is our animated comic panels. We use motion graphics to come on and off the screen. We use it to do our storytelling and introduce gameplay elements within the game. We looked at a lot of motion graphics that you find on the internet and the things you might see in like TV commercials or movie trailers and that sort of thing. And what I wanted to do is take that sensibility, that sort of animation style and that animation sense, and apply it to comic book panels. We wanted it to have a lot of energy and life, much like the comic book has. It allows us to tell really energetic, exciting stories and really lead the player through and show them what we want to show them in our stories.
All right, no more screwing around. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it right.
We really took a lot of effort to make sure that we didn't do things that were photographic, even though modern day comic books are colored on the computer nowadays. They do some things like motion blur and lens flare. And we made choices not to include those in our game because I really wanted that sense of the page and out of a comic book world. You won't find lens flares in our game and those sorts of lens effects, those sort of things that a camera would put into something. We specifically eliminated that from our game. Even the kind of motion blur that we have on our characters when they're throwing a punch, we have those kind of whiz lines that a comic book would have as opposed to a motion blur, and that's all on purpose and done to really capture that feeling of the comic book. To really capture the look of the comic, we did a lot of research for reference, and what we've done is we've scanned in every single issue of Ultimate Spider-Man. So we have every page that we've examined and looked at just to sort of see how the storytelling is done, the color palette for the time of day and the lighting and all of those things, and really just kind of dissected it. The next step was we had Bagley draw up our characters for us, and he would do a 3/4 front and a 3/4 back view of our characters for us, and then the models are actually modeled on top of that drawing to create our models. That's how we're really able to capture the style of the comic. It's a real unique sort of Spider-Man look that is unique to Bagley, and we really wanted to capture that.
That game looks great, and if you want to see more, that's just a part of the interview. Go to the game space after the show. That's Ultimate Spider-Man. Joining me right now, though, Sam Player, senior producer of From Russia with Love from EA. Thanks for coming by, Sam.
What's up, Rich? Thanks for having us.
We appreciate it. Now, you are here today. We've had From Russia with Love on the show just a few weeks ago when we were down live at EA.
Yep.
And we got to see the hedge maze. We got to see some vehicular level, I believe. But today, you are showing what?
Today we are showing for the first time the Gypsy Camp level, which is a level based on one of the more remembered scenes of the film. Everyone always wants to know when you say, hey, you got From Russia with Love, do you have the girl fight? That's pretty much all everybody wants to know. And so we say, we've got it. It's here today. First time we're showing it, so happy to bring it to you.
Nice. Now, you brought some footage with you. Now, while we're queuing that up, if you could, for people who haven't seen From Russia with Love or maybe missed our earlier show, what can you tell us about the game, about the movie? It's a Sean Connery movie.
Absolutely.
First of all,
Absolutely. First video game ever with the venerable Sir Sean Connery as the star, as James Bond for the first time, and couldn't be happier to have Connery in it. Obviously, he's the first Bond, he's the classic Bond, he's everything that Bond really embodies, and the funny story is his grandkids talked him into doing the thing. I mean,
really?
You know, you're Sean Connery, right? You live in the Bahamas, and
you don't.
you do a movie whenever you really feel like it.
You have a solid gold house and a rocket car.
Things are good if you're Sean Connery, and so he doesn't have to do something like this. But his grandkids said, you know what? You got to do this because it's cool.
Nice,
and he loved it.
And here we are. This is the Gypsy.
There
Camp
it is.
And there's the
there
girl
is
fight.
the infamous girl fight. So the story here is that this level actually you get to expose to a bunch of the more important characters from the film. With Connery, with Bond is Karen Bay, who is, if you're familiar with the film, Karen Bay is the head of one of the Secret Service stations that's based in Turkey called Station T.
Okay.
And so he is Bond's escort throughout his time in Istanbul during the film. They have gone to this gypsy camp where Bond is going to be hiding out from a Bulgarian agent named Krilenko, who is basically after him, working with the KGB. And so the story is here, they've gone to the gypsy camp and Krilenko's men have ambushed them. And this is where an example of from the film, the story is there is a gunfight here with Krilenko's men, and we've sort of taken it and built in new objectives that you as Bond will get to play, sort of leading into playing into our director's cut theme.
Nice.
Where we are expanding on the movie and building gameplay that would be fun for today's game player into the scenes.
Because one of the best parts of having this as a video game is now you get to just kill that many more dudes. That
Absolutely.
James Bond didn't get to because he had time constraints.
Well, Bond isn't the Bond in the film. He doesn't kill people gratuitously. He actually doesn't even kill people. He injures them. He's very tactful in the way he takes on his enemies. Connery himself was a much more physical Bond. A lot more brawling, a lot more wrestling moves where you take out his opponents, and it's not all about just running through areas and mowing them down with gunplay. But in video games, they're shooting. We're a third-person shooter. We've got a litany of weapons that makes it for some happy third-person shooting fun.
And there are some things that have to be blown up.
Absolutely, there's destruction that must occur. Mayhem must ensue for you to progress. So this first objective here is. Bond is the gypsy camp is overrun with these Bulgarian soldiers. the key weapon here is that guy on this the back of the truck firing this turret machine gun that basically is laying down a suppressing fire all over the camp. You got to take him out, otherwise you're pretty much doomed. He's shooting at you. He's shooting at your partner, Karam.
So his health is the bar that we were seeing on the top of the screen.
The top of the screen is the bar for the turret. So we've just taken him out. So
Nice.
we get the message that says that objective succeeded. We roll another cinematic where you get instructions from Karam for your next objective. This one is the Bulgarian soldiers have taken some of the hostages. In this case, they are some of the women from the camp are being held captive.
Who would normally be fighting.
Oh, of course,
Right.
with each other. With each other, if you remember the film. So now the idea is you've got to go find these hostages that are being guarded by the Bulgarian soldiers. There, Bond has just taken out one of the soldiers with a special combo move using the controller at the right time. You saw that button press, the square button prompt flash on screen. That engages a special move, which adds to your "be like Bond." I say that in quotes. Research points. So the idea is not to just mow through the level and gun people down. You want
Right.
to actually play the game like James Bond. And Bond, like I said, he wasn't just a shooter. He took out people tactically. He snuck up behind people. He wasn't one to waste ammunition. So everything you do in the game, you're scored upon how you play like Bond.
Now, I played through Everything or Nothing, and it had the same thing with the Bond moments and the little like 007
That's
logo would pop up. Now, what disappointed me with the game, there wasn't much, but it always seemed like I missed the Bond moments. I'd have to go back through the level and look for them. Is there some sort of is it easier to come across the be like Bond moments in this game, or?
Well, we don't want to give everything away. Rich.
Right, obviously.
I mean,
yeah, you got to earn it.
You got to explore. You got to find some things.
Right.
So there's going to be some that you'll find throughout regular progression, but there's also going to be some that are going to be hard to find, and it provides an additional incentive to go back and play the game again. We will be feeding the users challenges, extra challenges. Once you've completed a level, we may fire another challenge. Okay, now you got to beat the level by disabling 6 different bad guys in a certain time, or play it on a new difficulty level. And during the replay of those levels, you'll have another opportunity to find the Bond moments. If you don't find them, we'll explain to you what they were, so that you can go find them again. So
That works. That's all I'm asking for.
We'll give you a little help.
I appreciate it.
We won't leave you alone.
I'll need a little help. I'll admit it. And as we're watching Mr. Connery here, a.k.a. Bond.
That's right. So Bond has upgraded himself. He's equipped himself with a gas mask because this area is infested with evil gas, toxic gas.
Right.
Much
I saw
like-
every soldier was wearing a gas mask. You knew he was going to need one eventually.
Yeah, it's much like being in our offices. You need gas masks
Right.
sometimes. It's getting pretty gamey. We're working pretty hard. We've got about a month to go, and I recommend it next time you come visit Rich. So that was, you saw the game pause, and you go to an upgrade screen and an equip screen, and you equip yourself with the mask. For the first time in Bond games, we are actually keeping a persistent inventory as you play.
All right.
So it's not like you're shedded of all your weapons and your gadgets as you progress from level to level. You get to keep it with you. You can upgrade every weapon that you have this year, making them fire faster or have larger weapon clips, reload quicker, all these things you can add. So we're really trying to build RPG elements into the experience with obviously some great visuals.
Cool. And as Mr. Bond continues, we have questions coming in like we do. GameSpot Complete members, as you're watching this, use the form at the bottom of the page. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and your question we'll ask Sam. And I have some right here. You ready?
Let's shoot. Let's see what we got.
First question from Dylan Hammond.
Make sure I can answer them.
All right, well, all right, we'll see what we can do here.
Give me the
Dylan
easy
Hammond
ones.
from Rock Hill, South Carolina. We'll get you started off with a broad one. How long is the story mode? Levels, time-wise, what are we looking at? The movie is obviously 2 hours long or so.
It's a less than 2 hour film, but what we decided to do was obviously recreate the entire movie, and that's done with cinematics like you see here that really bookend all the gameplay. The story, it's a great story with great characters, great locations. Connery said it was his favorite film to make, just based on the locales alone and the cast of characters that appear in the film. So we obviously stay true to the film, but then we add extra. We like I mentioned before, we call it the director's cut, right? So we've have 14 total single player levels that progress from start to finish. You'll earn bonus levels as you go. There are 5 extra bonus levels that if you achieve certain milestones in the game, you'll get privy to. So of those 14 levels, I would say 11 are based on scenes from the film, and there are 3 extra levels that are inspired by the movie, but create gameplay in environments that weren't necessarily in the film. So it's all there plus more.
So with an expanded level like that, I'm guessing there are cinematics in these bonus levels as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for the cast of characters, did you get Sean Connery in the studio to record new audio? Did you use existing stuff?
No, Connery is we went into the studio. We had a crew go to the Bahamas. Again,
Nice.
it's tough being working with Sean Connery. We had to go to him.
Right.
You know, we went to the accountants and say, yeah, we need this expense report okayed.
Bummer.
Someone had to go.
Right.
I wasn't privy to go, but
didn't?
we did have a team that headed to the Bahamas for a week and spent some time with Sir Sean, and he was great. And so Sean Connery was recorded. We have signed 2 new Bond girls.
Yes, who are the Bond girls?
The Bond girls, absolutely. Maria Menounos plays Eva, who is a character that we introduced to the film. Introduced to the game, not a character from the film, but plays Red Grant's henchwoman. Red Grant is the protagonist, the evil, the
antagonist.
I guess would that be what it is? Yeah,
he's the protagonist of evil.
I didn't
guess
quite
you could
the
say.
protagonist of evil. Yeah,
Yes.
vocabulary never my thing.
And that's no problem.
I'm not judged
I say
per
so
word.
many words wrong on here.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's okay.
It's a forgiving audience.
This is just the internet, right?
Right.
Okay, then we're all right.
The world's most powerful medium, by the way.
Oh, my bad.
All right, that's okay. So, Bond girls.
Okay, so the Bond girls, Maria Menounos, did I mention her?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Maria Menounos, who just co-starred in Fantastic Four.
Okay.
She played, I believe, a newswoman in Fantastic Four, but she's more well known for appearing on Access Hollywood, and just recently was signed to do some correspondence work for the Today Show, so that's a great gig for her.
Cool.
So, yes, she's very attractive. She will fit right into the Bond universe. The second Bond girl is a woman named Natasha Bedingfield, who is a very famous pop star in the UK.
All right.
So she plays the Prime Minister's daughter, who you'll meet in the first level of the game, a level inspired by the City of London and the House of Parliament, which is one of the director's cut levels to the game. Nice. So she shows up, and they both lended their voices and did some acting for the opening credit sequence of the game, and we're really thrilled to have both of them.
We're getting a lot of questions in here right now.
More
There's
questions.
one from Alexander Knight in Van Nuys and another one from Bob Yoler in Maryland. Guns and vehicles. How many? What can we look forward to driving?
Many, absolutely. Guns, I would say 10 to 11 guns. Basically, plenty for bullet mayhem, bazookas, rifles, shotguns. There's a serum gun, which helps turn the enemies against each other when used creatively. Absolutely.
Nice.
I would say there's 11 guns. They're all upgradable as well. So every gun in the game you can attach better properties to. And then there's gadgets. It's a Bond game. You got to have gadgets, right?
That's Kevin Darnell's question from Georgia. He wants to know whether.
Oh, Kevin. Sorry, we got ahead of
That's
ourselves.
right.
Kevin.
Go ahead.
I knew it was coming, Kevin. I knew you were out there. There's sonic cufflinks. Now these are cool.
So how do those work?
Well, Bond engages them and they create a sonic blast, basically a blast radius that will disable anything within that radius. So it helps to get out of jams with those cufflinks.
Cool.
I'm not wearing mine.
No.
But they wouldn't let me through security.
That's right. Maybe when you get some extra pairs lying around, you can send them here. We'll get one on the show. That'd be good.
You keep putting us on the show. We'll
All
get
right.
it going. The Q-copter. Q, where would you be without a surveillance helicopter?
Yeah.
Little mini copter. It goes for places where Bond can't sneak in, get a little view, and has a nice little added feature of exploding upon command, so it can be used for as a weapon in the pinch. This really cool briefcase turret, which I'll tell you about a little later. Let's get to another question.
Actually, I've been told by my director that we were running short on time. We have more questions coming in. We'll ask a few more. We'll get like 3 more out of the way. Is that okay? All right, we'll do 3. All right. This is a question in from New Jersey. I love the style and energy of the 1960s film. Can you talk about the art direction for a game like this compared to something like a GoldenEye?
Oh, this is a project that was made for art direction. I mean, the locales, the city of Istanbul, the Orient Express, the city of Venice. I mean, it's basically an art director's dream to create all these new, or actually old. I mean, you're going back in time to the 1960s. It's not something that you typically see in an action game of the 21st century. Just going back and looking at all the old reference material, the film, it's rife with with just beautiful artwork that we were happy to recreate. So it was, going retro, if you will, was just a great move for our company to do this.
Cool. The game looks great. And we'll do the last question right here. Peter Jones from Earlstown in the UK. He wants to know, we've talked about it a few times, how faithful exactly is the game to the original movie? You said you've added a Bond girl or two. That's not going to take anything away from someone who's a fan of the movie.
No. I mean, it's like I said, it's such a great story, and we went to painstaking detail to recreate all the scenes of the movie. You're gonna see it play out for you with 3D animation right before your eyes. It's better than the film. It's you get to experience it yourself, and to take Connery around these worlds is just a treat for gamers that they're gonna love. And we stayed as faithful as we could to the movie. It's a great experience.
Great. Well, Sam, thanks for coming by. When's the game coming out?
Absolutely.
What platforms?
November. It's on PS2. It's on Xbox. It's on GameCube.
Nice, so everyone can get it.
That's right, just in time for the holidays.
Well, thanks for coming by, Sam. Appreciate it. We'll have you. You're a natural. We'll have you on again when you're done with this game.
It's a good time.
When you're working on your next one, we'll bring you back. Yeah, it's a good chair, isn't it?
Can I just
They're
stay?
Italian.
Can I watch you work?
No, actually, Jeff, or I think
I have to
Jason's
go?
Yeah, sorry. You can hang out. You just can't sit there.
Can I have some free food?
Yeah, we got some in the kitchen.
Okay.
All right, cool. Coming up next, as we said, out of the past couple weeks, we've been showing you exclusive premiere trailers from Mark Ecko's Getting Up. Here is 3 of 5. Check it out.
Product not yet rated.
An additional pillar of gameplay is our urban navigation. We talk about this mix between New York City and Hong Kong. You really get to see our source of inspiration, how we got there, by exploring this rich world of assets and language that you could interact with, from steel girders to basically face-climbing buildings. And you really get a great sense of how, in fact, this product and the way that we've built the levels really takes advantage of the verticalness that we really were seeking to create. Much like the graffiti experience I described before with, sticking up and down, it's the same kind of logic. You stick up, you grab. You stick down, you release. I think it's going to make for a really rich experience. In order to teach the player where the mission objectives are and where to get up, we enlisted a gameplay convention we're calling Intuition. Intuition is a function of a toggle button on your controller and acts as a device to help you navigate. It not only tells you where to apply the art, where to get up, but it tells you the direction to go in. We wanted to create an environment that really compelled you to look all over the place and wonder, how the hell can I get there? I know there's got to be a way to break this navigation puzzle, if you will.
Mark Ecko is a man possessed. He's like P. Diddy for the new generation or something like that. He's in like 8 billion businesses or something by now, right?
Yeah, at least 8 billion.
Yeah.
The dude knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does.
I'm just going to pipe in while you do. You do this. I just want to shout stuff in the background.
But whatever. I'm here with GameSpot's own version of Diddy, Brian Eckberg, and we're over here playing Burnout Revenge online, 2-player. So how are things going with this? How you faring?
Well, not so bad. I was doing pretty bad. I'm actually playing Ryan Davis, sometimes host of On the Spot. And he's been teaching me a lesson pretty well lately. But
he's been practicing though.
Yeah. It's hard to get this game away from him at night.
Yeah.
He takes it home probably every night.
Yeah, he's pretty crazy with it.
Yeah.
So I think like the biggest change is, the way the game lets you check traffic that's going in the same direction. I mean, did you say that like completely changes the game? Is it just like an all-new game now? Or
I don't know if it's all new, but it definitely has an effect on how things work. I mean, you can check traffic, and that's definitely going to add to your boost. You can, but at the same time, if you don't have any boost like I do right now, and you start checking traffic, it's going to slow you down, as you go through the traffic itself. So I think it's going to, definitely affect the game, but I think some people will probably get pretty skilled with it and, become pretty fierce online with it.
I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it yet, but I got way into just kind of checking traffic into other cars and real dirty tricks like that.
And you get bonuses for doing, I guess that's trick shots, just like what we did right there. You kick one car into another, and it definitely going to get a boost. That's not the way to do things.
Intense. Well, let's take a question real quick here. Mark Townsend from Indiana says, "Hey, Brian.
Hey.
I know they had some stat tracking in Burnout 3 Takedown, but with the great stat tracking of other EA games such as Battlefield 2, will Revenge support more expansive stat tracking?"
Well, it would be cool if we had like headshots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that we were actually just checking it out in the previous segment, and it looks like it does have a few new things. I think there was an ELO ranking. Right?
Yeah, they've got some kind of like chess crazy ranking to kind of figure out who the best drivers are.
Yeah.
It seems like some of the offline stat tracking is a little deeper too.
I'm sorry, did you say Electric Light Orchestra tracking?
Yeah, ELO
baby.
totally on the soundtrack.
Okay,
LCD
cool.
sound system and ELO.
Nice.
That's all it is.
But yeah, with an ELO, I suppose you could. It's better for matchmaking online.
Yeah.
Get somebody close to your score, and you won't be getting trashed like I am right now.
And which is good because on Burnout 3, the only people left are crazy pros. So
Right.
when this one comes out, the new players will get back in. It'll be more meat for us to grind up
Exactly,
online, right?
exactly.
Okay, one more question here. John Gereza from Dublin, Ireland says, are all of the single-player modes available online?
Again, we were just talking about this. I believe so. And you were telling me that the road race. I think I should interview you on this game. Jeff, are all the single-player modes in the online game?
Well, Brian, pretty much. What they did is, actually this time around, they took Road Rage, which was different offline at Burnout 3, and they made the offline component a lot more like the online take of Road Rage, so you can kind of crash out. If you crash too many times, you'll fail the event. And so they've made some changes here and there, and it seems like there's some more options for online crash mode too, which is cool.
Very good. Are there any questions you can read for you?
Let's see, we got...
I have some questions.
Yes.
Here's an easy one for you. This is from Mike in Whidbey Island, Washington. Will Burnout Revenge support HD? That's a loaded question. I ask it because I know the answer. Do you know the answer?
Yeah.
What's the answer?
The answer is yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
The answer is yes, and as of right now, after the show, go to the Burnout Revenge game spaces, and we have like 20 HD movies, right?
Yeah, we have all kinds of
10
crazy
Xbox,
HD
10
movies, just like
PlayStation
wicked,
2.
fat crashes.
Because GameSpot Live is your home for HD
Yeah,
movies.
exactly. I'm just going to sit here and think about all these crashes. Rich, what do you got going on over there?
I have Jason Ocampo with me. Thank you. We'll come back to you guys in a little bit, check back in, maybe some crash mode. Jason, what's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man.
What have you brought with you?
I have brought the demo of Starship Troopers, the game.
Starship Troopers, the game.
Yes.
Now, there's already been a Starship Troopers, the game.
Yes, there has, but it was kind of a weird, like, real-time strategy game thing. But, when you think about Starship Troopers, it's perfect for a first-person shooter, and finally, somebody's delivered on.
Now, this is not just based on the phenomenal Paul Verhoeven movie from 1992, I think, was it?
Yeah,
97.
97? Was it 1997? Anyway, it's based on also, there was a CG TV show, which I woke up at like 7:30 in the mornings during college to watch, I'll admit it, and also a little bit on Starship Troopers 2, which no one should watch. Am I right?
Yes. Well, it came out, the Starship Troopers 2 went straight to the DVD, I think, last year. And
straight to the trash can, more like it. Ooh.
I don't even think I've seen it. But, the animated one, the Roughneck Chronicles and stuff, good stuff. All CG. But, when you get down to it, though, the one Starship Troopers everyone remembers, Paul Verhoeven's, the guy did RoboCop, the guy did Total Recall, and then does the movie, and kind of like no one really read the book, but they all know the movie.
Right. Yeah. So let's jump right into the demo, shall we? Because the level that the demo is, and it's available on GameSpot DLX right now, and you can actually open another window, start downloading it now, and it'll be ready by the time the show is over. But the demo level that you have, one, you're playing it on a Pretty Pimp laptop with a Pretty Pimp mouse.
Yeah, this is the new Alienware Area 51M. Mm-hmm. It's got a 3.6 gigahertz processor and a NVIDIA Go GeForce 6800 Ultra. It's also about 12 pounds, so you bring this to a LAN party and you're going to be the big kid on the block.
Cool.
And this is the brand
your creepy
new
super mouse.
Yes, the brand new.
Try
Razer.
to hold it up in front of you. Here you go. See, look at that thing glowing.
The brand new Razer Copperhead mouse. It's just hit in stores this week. It has an insane 2000 DPI, which means at the highest setting, this is more mouse than pretty much anyone can handle.
Even you?
Even me. I've had to tone it down a bit because, at 2000 DPI, you move it 1 inch and the entire screen goes in circles.
All right, let's see what you can do with it.
All right.
Now, this mission, I have gameplay movies up on the site already, but it looks a lot like the level where you dropped in and you come to the base and it's a trap, and all of a sudden, oh wait, is this movie footage?
Oh yes. There's Michael Ironside.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
I didn't know this was in the game.
This just became the best game ever made.
Before he was Sam Fisher, he was killing bugs on Clint Datu,
Nice.
So there he is, and they go marching around. And if you remember this scene from the movie, they kind of go to the planet and they land on, everything's deserted, and they find this empty base. And, and speaking of which, right here.
Oh, look. Let's walk through the desert right here. That looks like there's an empty base up here. What's going on?
Oh, boy. Where is everybody? And now here's the moment where Michael Ironside's going to do his, cool military signage.
I meant 3 guys go.
3 guys go, yeah.
By the way.
Everyone runs in, and everybody runs in, and Everyone storms in, and then here we go.
Oh, and here's the level.
Here's the level.
Oh, that's cool.
So here we are. We're inside the base, and this mouse is pretty insane.
Oh no!
Hold
Jason
on. The nice thing about
this
this mouse is you can adjust it on the fly.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. So there we are.
Oh, okay.
Much better. And then if you remember this, here they come. Now it's kind of like the Alamo Last Stand, and they've demoed this game for me. And yes, they can get about 250 bugs on screen at once.
Nice.
And I've seen this level longer, where basically it's wave after wave, and you have the insect bugs
Shoot
coming
something,
at you
dude.
too. Oh yeah, okay. So
aim for the brainstem.
Remember what Neil Patrick Harris said in the movie? You know, shoot out a limb, and it remains 86% effective. Here's a tip: aim for the nerve stem.
Nice.
And put them down. So you know, basically, I'm playing on easy because I'm a wimp. But you know, here we go. Yeah, die bugs, and you know, pretty standard. But here's a fun part now. So yes, we defeated the wave, and now we got to go. Getting orders. We're gonna have to go outside to figure out.
So if this was the movie right now, you'd be completely overrun. You'd have to bail out, and you'd find the guy whose brain was sucked out, and then Denise Richards would come and save the day.
Exactly, and I've actually played that where it gets pretty insane. The way it's scripted is, if these guys die, you see the animation of a bug, you know, reach over, grab them, and throw them back. Or there's a lot of different animations on how they die. It's pretty grisly. And then at the end, there's that giant tanker bug that looks like the gigantic beetle.
So that part does come along eventually?
That does.
All right.
So here we are, and we're running around outside, and you have to go get, you know, they tell you, we forgot something, and yeah, you have to go get it.
Oh, look at those guys.
Yeah, a little, and then...
Oh, nice.
Yes. And then
those little guys are the ones that carry the big brain bug, right?
Here we go.
Ah, ooh, that guy looked a lot meaner.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So and, you know, the bugs, it's pretty amazing. Like basically, you know, they're getting to the point how they looked in the movie, and you imagine in a few years, you're gonna get pretty much the movie type of graphics.
Well, you keep fighting those bugs, because the only good bug, as we know, is a dead bug.
Hoo-ah.
And I will fire you some questions.
Okay.
Chris Beverly, Norcross, Georgia. Does the game stay true to the movie story? Because I found some movie-to-game video games sometimes kind of veer away from that.
You know, this is technically set after the movie.
That's right.
So it's in a way, it's an entirely new plot. They recycle a lot of the scenes because, you know, you're kind of back in Klindatu, but you're also in different worlds. Johnny Rico is now a general, so... You know, he's kind of your
Casper
lead
Van
officer.
Dien's
Casper
character.
Van Dien character.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is you're fighting under his command, and it's, you know, I'm not even sure about the story because, like I said, it's entirely brand new in many ways.
Cool. And actually, Jesla in Lincroft, New Jersey. I'm sorry. They wants to know: do you interact with any characters from the movie, and have any of the actors been signed on for the game?
There has been one actor signed on for the game, and that is Casper Van Dien himself.
Nice.
Who's, you know, Johnny Rico. Considering the fact that most of the characters from the movie died pretty badly, Johnny Rico was pretty much one of the only ones to survive. And it picks up after there, so that's about it.
Does Neil Patrick Harris live?
He had to live.
Neil Patrick Harris,
yeah,
but he never did any fighting. He always had the cool like overcoat on. And
yeah, but they could have him show up in the overcoat at some point in the game
It's
and steal your car. And
so how many troopers? Do you get to see plenty of troopers die and everything? Everyone gets ripped up nicely?
Yeah. In this scene, you basically see, you know, in the last stand of this moment, yeah, these guys get ripped apart. They get shredded. It's pretty fun.
Well, we'd like to thank Empire Interactive for hooking us up with the demo of this game and the prizes that Jeff won't let me say what they are until the end of the show.
Too big!
It's an amazing, amazing prize. Jason, thank you very much.
No problem, man.
When is this game coming out?
It's coming out later this year.
That's right. I believe it's a 2005 holiday release, like every other game.
Just in time. So, you know, you've been waiting 8 years for a good Starship Troopers shooter. It's coming your way.
Nice. I can finally. But right now, we're going to move on to we're going to go back to Jeff and Brian in a minute. But right now. Recently, we sent a team over to the UK where they got to see Codemasters TOCA Race Driver 3 and interview defending Indy 500 champion Dan Weldon. And here's part of the interview they got with him. Check it out.
I'm Dan Weldon, driver for Michael Andretti of Andretti Green Racing in the number 26 Klein Tools Jim Beam Dallara Honda. And I'm going to talk to you about the new Codemasters game that's going to take America by storm. Well, first of all, it's a game that's associated with the Codemasters company, and that's, as far as computer games go, I think that's one of the best. It's the premier company in the development of these particular games. And you know, this one TOCA Race Driver 2006 is no different. I mean, it's got every possible championship that you could want to race on a computer game in. Obviously, I'm very fond of the IndyCar series part, and often known as the IRL. And that you can compete at the Indianapolis 500. You can do the full season. You can do one-off races. And the fact of the matter is that Codemasters produce very real games. They're very matter of fact, and they're pretty pinpoint accurate. I think the thing that Michael Andretti's proud of most is that I can hit the reset button and get a brand new car on this game, which I can't do on the racetrack. It's challenging. It's not one of those games that you can complete very quickly. Whereas this, you have to really, there's a knack to it. You can adjust the setup, which is very, very realistic. And actually, as an IndyCar driver, I have in the past used this setup option to help myself learn a bit more about changes that can be made on an IndyCar. Now, other drivers have done the same, and if they tell you different, they're lying. But the good thing is, for me, is being based in America now. I have friends that race in the DTM. I have friends that do the Master Series, and I can race in all these different championships as well as them.
TOCA. That game's cool and all, but there just isn't enough wrecking in it.
No.
But crash mode here, plenty of crashing.
More than makes up for it.
So this is online crash mode where two players can crash at the same time.
That's right. This is crash battle mode, and it's sort of like, just as you say, it's you're both on the same track. As you can see, you can choose from a number of different cars here.
Mm-hmm.
You typically want to go for a stronger, tougher car here. You don't want to go for a little sports car. But there is a degree of strategy to this, because the idea is you want to rack up the most damage. You want to do more damage than the other guys, so sometimes you want to get to the intersection first. So maybe you do want to get in that fast car that gets to the intersection, because the first person who causes the train wreck gets the credit for all the crashing. So there's a little bit of strategy to this mode that I actually kind of like.
Yeah.
It's also got a new starting off the line. You'll see it's sort of like a golf meter.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of a 2-button or a 3-button press, I guess. It'll show it off right here.
There we go.
Yeah, you click it once.
And if you miss it, you blow up your engine.
Yeah, that's not the way to do it.
That's bad news.
I'm happy you did that, Brian, because when we had the game on before and I was trying to show off how to blow up the engine, I couldn't do it.
Well, let's get into some questions. Invader Spleen, not his real name.
The Invader Spleen?
Of San Diego says, on the movies I've seen, there are people cheering. Sounds cheesy to me. Please tell me we can turn that audio down. No, you can't.
No.
Deal with it. No, it's actually awesome, because it's in mostly in crash mode, and it kind of goes with the golf meter. It's kind of golf clapping and cheering. It's actually really funny to hear people cheering as you're just like totally destroying all these cars and stuff.
What is less worth cheering than mass mayhem? And then the car's flying through the air. It looks like a golf ball. May as well give it a golf clap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Kevin Darnell, Calhoun, Georgia, says, what kind of soundtracks are in Revenge? We have that information up on the site. There's like a LCD sound system remix in there. BT remixing The Doors, continuing the EA tradition of messing up Doors songs. Sahid Merchant, Stafford, Texas. I noticed in the demo that the tracks have a lot of alternate routes. Does that make the game better or worse than Burnout 3? We'll have to wait and see how it actually impacts the game, right? But I mean, every track does have like a whole bunch of alternate routes, right?
I mean, it's perfect in crash mode, just like this. I mean, one guy can go one way, the other guy goes the exact opposite way, and yet you still have, they're both valid ways to go and cause destruction. It's great.
Cool. Okay, Thomas B., Wimberley, Texas. Okay, since you can check traffic in the crash mode, is the crash mode easier? Crash mode could get pretty hard in takedown. Will it still be pretty challenging?
It's definitely challenging. I mean, one thing in crash mode is you definitely want to make the right car choice, because sometimes they give you cars that can't make the jump, and you have this one jump that is the best way to get maximum destruction, but if you can't make the jump, then you're screwed.
Right.
So I wouldn't say it's like completely impossible, but I think there's a bit more challenge this time.
That and you could say the dollar values are way higher, as reflecting how many more accidents.
And there's no modifiers. There's no like 3x
right,
modifiers,
no
4x modifiers.
Caesar Felix from Sun Valley, California. And he even wrote the Show Me State in here. The last game was stupid hard at the end. Agreed. Did any of you all complete it? Not yet. And is this one as difficult?
I haven't had any troubles, but I'm not as far along as you are.
I've heard, I haven't actually played too much of it, but from the people who have, I've heard that it is like an easier game at the beginning, so maybe it does kind of ramp up at the end and get stupid hard again. Or maybe they just kind of wanted to make it an easier game so you can get all the good cars and get online and start crushing people.
Yeah, because online's where it's at with this game,
Crushing fools, Rich.
Totally crushing fools.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff and Brian. We're going to let you guys play a little bit, and then we'll bring Jeff over here. We'll leave Brian kick him out of the nest, make him do his own thing. We'll see how he does. Right now, I'm joined by the infamous, notorious Bob Kaliko. What's up, Bob?
The notorious B.O.B.?
That's
is
you.
that how it is?
Yeah, totally
Yeah,
notorious
that's me.
B.O.B. Sure, why not?
All
You were
right.
here recently. You got to review. I'm a huge baseball fan. We know. I say it all the time. I almost wore
you
Red
like
Sox
the
jersey.
Yankees, right?
Yeah, the Yankees are
Yeah,
totally
that's-
my favorite
that's
team.
your
I really
team.
love the Yankees.
All right.
Yeah, A-Rod is like totally the best guy in all sports.
For real.
Right. Go. Yeah.
Brewers, baby.
You brought Mario Superstar Baseball, which you
I
recently
did.
reviewed.
Uh-huh.
And how is it?
It's a pretty good game. It's
Yeah?
it's a fun arcade style baseball game, and I got it right here.
Fire it up.
I'll take a look.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm in a bit of a jam. I'm pitching right now. I got Donkey Kong on the mound, but Yoshi's on third, 2 outs. I got to get out of this one.
You got to get out of this one.
So let's see if I can, Okay, I just blew that fastball right by the Goomba.
No, he didn't even swing.
No, it was too fast, but check this out. I'm going to do a star pitch right now, and
Okay.
that's what you do when you're really in a jam. And it costs you one of those stars, but if you make big plays, you can get more stars. So now I'm just going to do this crazy banana pitch.
Whoa!
I saw Barry Zito
You
throw
see
one of
the
those
motion
last
on
night.
that?
Who did?
Barry Zito.
Barry Zito.
He's got star pitches.
He's got the yacker like that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even know where that thing's going. I'm just going to blow this one right. Oh, no! He just knocked it in.
It's a bloop.
Oh, man.
Look like Kazishi right there.
See, and then
Get
when-
out of the way.
Back through the box.
Right up the middle, and yeah, I gave up the run. So-
Bummer. Now, this obviously being a Mario game, we saw there are star pitches right there.
Right. And on this particular field, they're crazy traps. This is Yoshi's field. So, if we're lucky enough, we'll see a fly ball get to the outfield, and there'll be piranha plants that pop up, and they'll catch the ball, they'll knock around your outfielders, and they'll actually spit the ball away. It sort of adds that random element to baseball.
Kind of like the Ivy at Wrigley.
Exactly.
The exact same thing.
Something like
Yeah,
that,
right.
or the fans pouring beer on you at Wrigley, that kind of thing. So now I'm up to bat, and I can charge up a swing and miss it completely like that.
Now, this being a Mario game, obviously all the characters in the game are from the Mario universe.
Exactly. So
some of them are familiar, like Donkey Kong and Yoshi pitching,
And
and here you are.
striking out like Mark Bellhorn or something.
Yeah, whoever. And that was a skeleton Koopa of a
Yeah,
sort. And now you're
I'm having
Waluigi.
trouble connecting here. There we go.
There you go, nice little pop.
No, look at
Waluigi.
did you
That's
see
an
that
E
piranha
there.
plant pop
Plant.
up? So he can grab the ball and spit it away from the outfielders and cause some mayhem that way.
How many different teams are we looking at here in this game?
Well, there are 30 different characters, and there's several team captains you can choose from. So you can if you do the exhibition mode, you can create all kinds of different combinations.
He doesn't have a bat?
No, he's just going to punch this ball if I can make contact.
All right, let's hit some questions right here. GameSpot
Sure.
complete members keep them flying in, and we will try not to make fun of Bob as he strikes out.
Yeah, I got one more strike on me.
All right, Frank.
There it is.
Oh,
there it
very,
is.
very
All right,
nice.
I'm
And
going
there's
to bring it
another
home. I'm
plant.
going to bring it home.
Oh, you don't test the arm of Baby Mario.
Oh, I got gunned down at the plate.
You don't test the arm of Baby Mario. How many times I got to
He
tell
hit
you?
the cutoff man with that.
You got some.
That was
you have
totally
some
not
sluggers on this team, both Wario and Donkey Kong.
That's right, and the players are rated for their hitting ability and that's a little
Tag up.
fly. No,
Oh, that was 3.
2 outs.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm back. But there's also mini games in here.
Let's see a mini game.
All right,
you
let's
fire that
do
up, and I'll ask you some questions.
Okay, sure.
All right, this is from Frank in New York. Is Mario Superstar Baseball in Mario Superstar Baseball? Will there be any various Mario themed ballparks? Yes.
Yes, and we just saw one of them. That was Yoshi Field. There's also Wario Palace, and all of them have different crazy traps and stuff just to give it that Mario feel.
Let's see this loading screen right now. But it's too late.
Too late.
That was weird. That was 8-bit Mario right there.
Yeah, the loading screens, kind of bring you back to the original Super Mario Brothers. So now we're going to do Ba-Bomb Derby, which is like a home run derby.
Now I see question marks there. Does that mean you can unlock players?
Exactly. There's kind of a challenge mode. It's kind of like a baseball RPG, and as you go through it and beat the different skill levels, you'll unlock new fields, new mini games, and some of these other players that are question marked right there.
So to answer Kevin's question, in Georgia, how many playable characters are there? That was it right there.
That was it.
The screen, 30 or so.
We can take a look. There's 30 or 32 or so.
That's
Looks
yeah,
like 8 times 4.
6, 7, 24.
32.
Yeah, it's 32. Good work.
There you go.
Nice job. Good math. All right, let's see a mini game.
All right, here we go. This is the home run derby mini game basically, and I picked Bowser.
Nice. He's got pop.
This is Manny over here.
So what was that little dial right there? Is that telling you what the...
That kind of tells you the speed of the pitch that's coming. So Mushroom is like kind of the slowest fastball, and you got to wait on it a little bit.
I'd say Bowser's more of an Ortiz, by the way. Being
that's true.
Yeah.
So you got to wait on this one, and then boom, I just kind of launch it.
And, that's cool.
Cecil Fielder style.
Oh, we're getting old school over there with Jeff and the
green M&M's.
Yeah. Boom, and then see he's got opposite field power there.
He does. Well, this game looks great.
Okay, here's a special one. It's the bomb. If I can get it, there goes.
Oh,
and then I get extra points for that one. Big fireworks.
And a combo bonus.
What kind of other mini games are there?
So,
oh, you just won that one.
I just won that one.
That was easy.
All right, let's try another mini game.
Okay, this will be the last one.
Okay, cool.
Make it a good one.
All right.
Not that one wasn't good.
No, they're all pretty cool. So, well, let's try the pitcher one here.
Being a Mario baseball game, a Mario sports game, I'm guessing very accessible to people of all ages.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty easy to pick up and play. You know, you don't have to be a crazy fantasy baseball expert or anything like that. You don't have to worry about pinch runners or worrying about left-handed, right-handed, or any of that crazy stuff. You just pick it up, swing the bat, throw the ball. That's about it.
Cool. Now, what's this mini game you fired up right here?
It's called Wall Ball, and basically you've got a series of walls that are coming up. And the object is, see that little shiny crystal one there?
Yep.
You want to break that one without breaking the next one.
Ooh.
So I'm going to like charge up. Let's see if I can get it. I didn't quite get there, but I did get some points for that. So, and then like the computer's going to take his turn. See, he screwed up. He didn't get any points.
Because he broke that wall.
Exactly. So now Birdo's got to go through all of them. Not quite.
Not quite. Who's this guy?
This guy's one of the crazy guys from
Is that a
Mario
shy
Sun.
guy?
No, it's not a shy guy.
So like a girl.
It's like a shell dude from one of those Mario
it.
games. There you go. See, I
Nice.
got it all the way
Bingo
through.
bonus.
Got the big pitching bonus there. And, you know, everyone's just going to take their turns breaking walls.
Cool, and I'm guessing, again, being a Mario sports game, 4-player support for all these mini games.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you want to just play the regular game of baseball, you can go 2 players on that. But on the mini games, a lot of them are 4 players.
Cool. So sweet. And what did you give the game?
Gave it an 8.0.
That's a good score.
It's a good score.
Great
It's a great score.
It's a great
score,
score.
in fact.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a great score.
It says great right under there.
Thanks for coming by, Bob.
Thanks for having me, Rich.
Everyone check out Bob's review of Mario Superstar Baseball. And right now, fresh from Japan, just in over the information superhighway, we have a team over in Japan doing some covert ops for us, including hitting the Amusement Machine Show. Jeff, you know a little bit more about it than I do. What is the Amusement Machine Show?
It's a show for arcade operators. Basically, you know, they'll be showing off the latest arcade games, and if you run an arcade in Japan, you go and you look at stuff, go, well, we're going to need about 20 of those, and, you know, none of the weird Boonga Boonga game, none of that action, but a whole lot of this Tekken stuff. So it's mainly for that, and it's a great opportunity for us to kind of get the early look at what's coming out in arcades in Japan.
Great, and Ryan McDonald is one of the men over there, and he put together this really nice piece, just sent it over, stayed up all night working on it. Check it out.
The Tokyo Game Show may still be a couple weeks away, but you'd never know it with the arrival of the 43rd Amusement Machine Show, which is essentially a CES-style trade show for new amusement devices and arcade games coming out in Japan. The majority of the show's floor space is dedicated to things like big mechanical dinosaurs promoting dino fighting games for kids, and also lots of location-based amusement devices. Sega's booth did, however, draw a large crowd this year for a look at Limburg, the company's new arcade hardware platform, which will run games like and also
Power Smash 3.
Did we mention one of the new games that was shown for Limburg was Yu Suzuki's new Sci-Fi, which basically squares you and an opponent off in the touchscreen battle to the death. Using the arrows in the corners of the screen, you're able to maneuver your character around the screen, all the while launching projectile attacks of your own. Some pretty nice looking zombies were shown off as well in a brief trailer of House of the Dead 4. Sega also had a game called Quest for D, an action RPG that let you play with a joystick and buttons, but handle your character's management with another touchscreen. This 2D fighting game Sega had featured one of the guys from Fist of the North Star anime series and was for the Adamance Wave arcade hardware system. It looked to hold true to the original Magic formula, even though it's the first time the game is not running on SNK's Neo Geo hardware. Sega's Under Defeat was a chopper game that looked to be a mix of Blades of Thunder and Desert Strike. Moving on to Namco's booth, we found a new version of Tekken 5 called Dark Resurrection. The game is an arcade update that includes 2 new characters, Dragunov, who looks like a cross between Marilyn Manson and Brian Fury, and Lily, who has some deceptive moves and some wicked kick combos. Capcom also showed up, but contrary to rumors, did not bring Street Fighter 4. Instead, the company announced a new arcade game called War of the Grail, which from the video looked pretty snazzy, but currently doesn't have a release date. An arcade version of Mario Kart was also on display, which includes new characters like Pac-Man seen here, and of course new power-ups. The arcade version also puts your face in the game, with a small camera mounted above the screen, puts a still of you in the corner and also above your car. One crazy PC-style pay-to-play arcade game on display was Counter-Strike Neo, which is essentially Counter-Strike with futuristic levels and player skins. Think the ninja and other elements from Metal Gear Solid slammed into Counter-Strike. The weapons, many sound effects, and overall play mechanics have remained the same despite the new coat of paint. Proving that you just simply can't have a Japanese video game show of any kind without Gundams, Banpresto had this game that most notably featured a giant pod to sit in that includes a projector and a large screen that gives you a ridiculously cool panoramic view of your surroundings and literally puts you in the cockpit of a giant robot. Banpresto also had a Dragon Ball Z game that looked and played similar to the PS2's Budokai 3. That's about it. Back to you, Rich.
Thanks, Ryan. Amusement Machine Show. Gundams.
Gundams. Leave it to Ryan to find the Counter-Strike machine at the arcade show.
We can send him thousands of miles away, but he will still
seek it out. Now, that show is crazy because it just proves that arcades are alive and well in Japan, whereas here they're just completely dead. You know, it's like we'll probably see the Tekken upgrade over here, and maybe a few of those fighting games will kind of shoot out to a few of the kind of hardcore arcade spots that are still left. But, you know, the big crazy Gundam panoramic games, you're never going to see that here, man.
Oh.
You know, someone will import like 2 of them
Right.
to an arcade that you'll never go to.
Right.
But you'll like, oh man, if I could go play that game, that'd be cool. But you'll never make it over there. So for all intents and purposes, it might as well just not exist, which is sad. But
the other thing that stuck out to me is that Mario Kart arcade game. Is that something that you'd normally find over in Japan, or?
Yeah, I mean they did an F-Zero arcade game.
I knew that.
So this is basically the same type deal, you know, Triforce arcade hardware, and Namco developed part of it, which is why you see Pac-Man in the game and stuff like that. So yeah, big old cockpits. It's probably actually just a conversion kit for the F-Zero machines that are out there.
Cool.
So you can just drop in Mario Kart and do your thing.
No Street Fighter 4 though.
No Street Fighter 4, but I think it's probably still in development somewhere. I mean, the rumor was substantial enough that Capcom probably just said, you know what, let's not show it. So they probably still have something in the works somewhere.
We just talked about Street Fighter 4 actually in the Hotspot podcast this week. If you haven't listened to it yet, if you have iTunes 4.9, go to the iTunes Music Store, go to the podcast, run a search for GameSpot, capital G, capital S, you will find it. We are currently number 78 on the charts.
78. Burning up the charts with a bullet.
It's like us, we're like going head to head with like one of the Adam Curry podcasts right now.
All right, so everyone get out there, subscribe to that, click on it a bunch. Let's get up the charts.
Let's get up there. Listen to
do
it.
some numbers.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's fun to do the radio and read the Hotspot as well. It's good stuff.
A weekly feature, Wednesdays.
Every Wednesday.
On GameSpot.
On GameSpot.
Yeah.
It's true. So we're totally messing with the people that are talking this quickly. We should keep doing that. Also, we want your phone numbers. We have the phone number graphic handy. I forgot to ask for it earlier, but we want your phone calls. Leave us some voicemails from GameSpot Complete members.
Yeah.
1-877-506-8324. I gotta be honest with you, we have like one dude who like leaves us like 10 messages every week. And the other people just like don't have the same quality as him, so we're just not using any of them until we get a whole bunch of GameSpot Complete members calling up, leaving us voicemail messages. This is a free call.
It's a free
1877
call.
is a free call.
That's right.
Tiny
free call.
classified ads.
That's right.
1-877-506-8324. Brian, how'd you do today against Ryan Davis?
I went a healthy 0-8.
Did you?
Yeah.
You kicked him in the crash mode, though.
I did beat him in crash mode. But now we're playing actually Road Rage. And I think I'm escaping, and he's going to hunt me down. Won't be too much longer till he hunts me down and cruelly, shoves me into a wall or something.
This was my favorite online mode from Burnout 3. I gotta say, when you divide them up into the teams, people run away, people catch them.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun with more than 2 people. We've got one person on the side right now, and it's just.
There's a lot of mean activity going on because you always know who's coming for you.
Especially if you're going up against Ryan Davis, you don't want to be alone.
No. It's not no Gamer King 128 or anything like that. It's Ryan. He's over there. So
or Joe,
if things go wrong, just walk over there and pop him one.
I'm gonna. Right after
one
this.
real rough.
So last week we gave away 3 Intel Are You Geek Enough hats and 2 bags of Bandai swag.
Cool.
For the Intel hats, we just asked simply for you to say, "Yes, I am geek enough!" ! And the first 3 GameSpot Complete members do that with a full mailing address.
And people actually did that?
There's a lot of people that did it.
Wow.
The first 3 were Galen Ryder of the British Columbia, Justin Jalkowski of the Nebraska, and Robert Gaither of the Florida.
Very nice, guys. You guys are apparently geeks by your own self-admission.
And they have hats that will tell everyone this. So
exactly.
Bring it up in conversation.
Wear it to the mall.
And the other thing we asked was we had coverage of the Bandai event that happened last week.
Yeah.
And one of the games that we did not talk about is based on an anime film that people should see. If they haven't, they should see. Can you figure it out?
I'm going to say Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell is correct, sir.
Yeah.
And if you were a GameSpot Complete member and wrote in with your full name and mailing address before these 2 folks, you would have won a nice bag of Bandai swag.
I've never actually seen Ghost in the Shell.
Really? You should see it.
Apparently I should.
As the trivia question says, you see. It's really short.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, it's good. You like it. All right. But the 2 people who were fast enough were James Hergus of Oregon and, oh man, Bijan Naru. I'm sorry, Bijan.
Let me try.
You try it. I got Bijan.
Where are we at here?
Over there, right there, Bijan.
Bijan Nowruzin of California. Nowruzin. That's what I'm going with. Nowruzin.
Oh, it's Nowruzian, actually.
Nowruzian.
I-A-N. Nowruzian.
That's not a real name.
It is. It's
a cool name. It's a very anime name.
It is. Yeah. That is a character in Ghost in the Shell. Congratulations to the 2 of you. Both won the nice bags of Bandai swag. Now, can we give away? Can we say who it is? I'm saying it. You don't get to say it.
It's explosive.
All right. So as I was saying at the beginning of the show, imagine this DVD for Starship Troopers coming to your home. Scrawled across it the autograph of none other than Casper Van Dien himself.
No
Casper Van
way.
Dien. Yes.
Do we? This is a bunch of crap. You're lying to me.
Casper Van Dien.
You're lying.
He's going to autograph 3 copies of Starship Troopers.
Can we get his wife to autograph the back or something like that? Like, can we get their reality shows?
Casper Van Dien. Stop acting.
All right. Okay. All right.
Maybe if Dina Meyer's autograph came with it as well, then you could get more excited.
Oh man.
But Casper Van Dien is more than enough to make this quite possibly one of the greatest prizes we've ever given away on this show.
Quite possibly.
Quite possibly.
And these are like real autographs. It's not like me and Rich are going in the back half and showing like.
Casper Van Dien is doing.
So we should do that too.
We should. Yeah. Casper Van Dien is doing voice work for the game, and the folks at Empire Interactive said they're going to hook us up with his autograph on 3 copies. GameSpot Complete members.
Very cool. So if you're a Starship Troopers fan, and who isn't, write in with what are we going to make him do? We're going to make him jump through some hoops for this stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna have to ask him. Okay, it has to be a trivia question based on the movie.
Yeah.
All right. So Starship Troopers, Paul Verhoeven. Brian, you're a fan.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm going to do 3 different trivia questions just because it's 3 prizes.
All right.
All right. Brian, can you come up with one off the top of your head?
Who is the name of the actor that played the plastic violin when they're all partying?
Oh, wow. That's great. GameSpot Complete members, who played the plastic violin? It's shiny and green.
That's right.
Name of the actor with your full name and mailing address. Send that one in. No, I'm not asking that question. That was the first question. Jeff?
Oh, man. It's been so long since I've seen it. I would be wrong. I would ask a question that would end up being incorrect.
Okay, well, here we'll toss up an easy one.
Okay.
What city is Johnny Rico from? GameSpot Complete members, first one to answer that correctly.
Yeah, cool.
All right, and my third question. All right. As we all know, Mr. Sam Fisher himself is in the movie.
Yeah.
Michael Ironsides.
The Michael Ironsides.
Viper.
He
is awesome.
Yes.
All right. Michael Ironsides is missing an arm. Which arm is he missing? Tell us which arm Michael Ironsides is missing. First person to do that, GameSpot Complete members, full name, mailing address in the form below. You won yourself a Casper Van Dien autographed copy of Starship Troopers. I hope our crowd appreciates this gift as much as we do.
Yeah.
Because we are psyched about this.
I'm hoping we can kind of keep up with the trend and maybe do like Elizabeth Berkley signed Showgirls DVDs some week or something like that. keep the
We'll see what we can do.
little Peter Weller RoboCop.
Thanks for coming by,
action.
Jeff.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Brian, thanks for coming by.
You see a bug hole, you nuke it.
Nice. Would you like to know more? Well, we got to stop. I'd like to thank Jason Ocampo for coming by. I'd like to thank Bob Collector for coming by. I'd like to thank Sam Player from EA for coming by. And I'd like to thank the folks at Empire Interactive for hooking us up with the demo of Starship Troopers. Is that everyone?
I believe that's...
I'd like to thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ryan Davis for
You
playing Burnout Revenge.
knuckleheads.
Sure. We'll see you next week right here on The Spot.